This is a WordPress training video for Gredell, and you can see here that I'm on the back side of the website on the login for WordPress, and you can go to your domain /wp-admin and use your username and password that was provided on your red sheet, and then I'm going to go ahead and log in. The first screen that you'll see is the dashboard. There's not a lot for you to do here on the dashboard. It's just kind of giving you updates and informing you of activity on the site. WordFence is running. This is blocking any attacks to the sites. And so eventually you'll see some analytics information show up here as well. The navigation is off to the left, and the main item you'll probably be using is post. So looking here at the front side of the site for a second, let's just kind of look through the site. You'll see there's a black bar up at the top that normally is not there. That's just because we're logged in as an admin that we see all of these options. The rest of the world would not see that. So as we scroll down, the part that gets updated the most about this site is the news section right here. So we're going to look at that first. I'm going to go to dashboard and post. All of the news items are here as posts. And so I'm going to click into one. You can click the title or edit. Either one works. And when you open that up, you can see this is the title of the post itself, which also becomes the link. It automatically makes that the link. And then there is content that's just been typed into this box. And there are some basic tools here if you wanted to format that content. Most of them are pretty short and sweet and should just be paragraph style text. That's just regular body text. As if you wanted to, you could add a heading. These are pre-formatted to match your website in the right font and the right color. You don't see that here in this drop down, but when you published it, you would see that on the front side of the site. And then there's some other basic editing tools to align or bold or italicize. So you type in your text there, and then if you scroll down here on the right, it's kind of annoyingly low on the page, but there's a box called featured image. And the featured image is that main item up there at the top of the post that you'll also see here as well. So that's the featured image. And then also you can add images into the post. Let's say you have a few more you want to add. I'm going to just go ahead and put my cursor in there and hit add media. And it's going to take me automatically to the media library where you see all of the images that are in this site currently. But I can also click upload files. I can drag my file in here, or I can select it. Just make sure it's a reasonable size. Usually under 200 kilobytes is a good thing. So not too big, not too small, and that if it's that featured image, it sort of has to be big enough to look right in this space. It's a little difficult, like this one is an example of one that's not great because it's a square image and this is a horizontal format. It's chopping him off, it's low res, not the greatest format. So we want to be sure that we're probably taking and uploading a little higher res images, and if they're formatted for horizontal, it really does work best. Let's click on this one, for instance. This one's a little bit better formatted horizontal. Still is pretty low res. So anytime you can go ahead and upload those as like a medium quality from your iPhone, that would be great. All right, so after you put your title in, you put your content in, you drop in any photos with the add media button, and then that main featured image at the top is done down in this right-hand corner. Then you can go ahead and hit update. You can also preview if you want. You can just preview this before you actually update and save to the internet. So I can see here, I'm seeing only part of the graphic because it's very, very horizontal. And so it may be that we want to choose a different sort of generic graphic here. And then let's go back to this one. Maybe I want to go ahead and add that media from my media library. I'm going to insert it into the post. And I'd like to center that. And then let's preview how that looks instead. Now I can see the whole graphic here. And I could change out this featured image if I wanted to and make that more generic, or make it just a road image and drop that in there so I could see the whole graphic down here. I could enlarge this if I wanted to and blow it up a little bit bigger to fill the space. Just be sure that whenever you get it, like you finally like it and it's good to go, to hit this update button, and that will save the entire post. And you don't have to worry about putting it on the home page. That will happen automatically. Whenever you put a new post on, it will just automatically add it to the slider at the bottom. So keep that in mind. You can also edit pages on the site. Any of the pages that you want to edit, let's say you've got some new text. Let's go ahead and go to the civil engineering page. So again, there's a featured image at the top, a title of the page. You can see the little projects button. All of this is built in, and then the content all the way down the page until we get to this. This is actually a photo slider where multiple photos can be dropped in. And then there's the content about the different projects. And then most of this won't change once you get down to the contact form at the bottom and the footer. So I can edit this page from two different places. I'm on the page, I have the edit button, I can do that right there. Or if I'm on the back side of the site, I go to Pages. It will give me a list of all the pages in my site, and here's civil engineering. I click that one. Now this is the typical format for a page. If you're working on the back side of the site, you're going to see the title blank at the top here, civil engineering. That gives you the URL of that page. And then there are page groups, and so the content is broken up into groups. There's the intro, which I'm going to click this little button right here that toggles open. The intro just says that it's civil engineering, and there's a section, another side-by-side section with the icon and the project's link. Looks strange on this side, I know, but all of those items run that front side right here. Civil engineering, there's an icon and a project's link. All of that's running that portion. Whoops, I'm going to close that one out. I can zip that section back up if I want, just to kind of get it out of the way. And then I'm going to open up this section. You can see this is where the bulk of the text is. All of the text is there. You can make any edits that you need to that text. And then just be sure to hit update once you want to save those to the internet. Okay, so I'm going to zip that back up. Now I will go back to this next page group. There's a slider. We talked about that. Right here, there's a slider of images. Actually, I think this one only has one in it right now. So if I open up that slider, all I'm going to see here is code, because that says that there's a tool that's running this called Revolution Slider. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. That Revolution Slider, it's pulling in code for Revolution Slider, which is over here, by the way, Revolution Slider. And then the last item is the project detail. And you can see here's the content that's in those three sections right here, 1, 2, 3. There's the content in those if you needed to change any of those sections. And they do look like they're stacked here, but there's code built into to those that is making those 3 columns. So instead of stacked like it looks here. So that's how you would edit a page. You'd open up those boxes within the page groups, make your edits, and then be sure to hit update. You can preview any changes before you actually save it to the internet. If you want to do that, you can preview it. All right, now we're going to move on to the slider revolution, because you may want to add photos to those sliders. So I'm going to click here to slider revolution. There are advertising things. I'm going to say no thanks. There are a number of sliders in your website, and you can see there's geological, geotechnical, specialized, and if I keep going here, environmental, water resources, civil engineering. I'm going to go ahead and edit this civil engineering one. Each one of those pages has its own slider. this tool can be pretty complex. I'm going to show you the portions that you really need because it doesn't have to be super complex. So right now there is just this one slide with this one image. And so if you go up here to slides, you'll see there's just one listed here. But I could easily go ahead and duplicate this with this little icon. That's probably the easiest way to do. You can also add a slide. It's kind of easy just to duplicate the existing one. And now I have two slides. It's called number 1 new slide and number 2 new slide. And we can edit the titles of those. But now I am able to change out this image by clicking up here on the slide options and the background image. If I go to my media library, I can select another image to drop in there, or obviously in this case you'd probably be uploading a new image, so you could change that out. We'll go ahead and I'm going to insert a new image into that spot. And so again, you want to be sure that you're here on this third tab. That gives you the background options, background and image. There are lots of options in here, but that gets you to the right spot. Here to the background, and then the background is an image, and you click on the media library to go and choose the one that you want. After you upload that image and get it inserted in there, all you have to do is hit save, and it will automatically publish to this location. And then if you refresh your page, it will show up there. So that's how you would add a new image in the slider, and you can drop those in pretty easily. But certainly feel free to call Firehouse, or if you have a selection of them that you would like to add into sliders all over the site, we're happy to help you with that and get those added. And if you want to edit the home page, let's go back here, look at the home page one more time. There may be things you want to edit on the home page. There's content here. Services and projects probably aren't going to change. We already know how to change this news portion. But if you wanted to change content on this page, again, you can do it 2 ways. You can go to edit page from the front side of the site, and that will allow you to edit it. Or I'm going to click on this little WordPress icon over here to get out of Slider Revolution. This little icon always takes you back to just the kind of the main menu. You can also go to pages here in the main menu, and I can choose the home page. There's quite a few pages in here, so I'm just going to do a little search up here in the right, search for home, and there it is. It's telling me yes, that is the front page. And again, we see this format here where there is a slider at the top, and that's run with Slider Revolution, just like we looked at. There's an About Us section. Here's that text that you could change anytime you wanted to. And there's services and projects right there, that text. And then the news, and it's pulling in all of those posts over here that we talked about first. Whenever you make a change, be sure that you hit the update button to go ahead and update that and save it to the web. If you ever have problems where you made a change and saved it and it just does not seem to be appearing, it may be this tool called WP Rocket. Now, WP Rocket helps websites load really fast. It caches images. It's really helpful for a lot of things, but occasionally it makes things stick and you don't see your changes. So if that ever happens and you made a change but you just do not see it on the website, go up here to WP Rocket and hit clear this post, or sometimes it'll say clear this page, or you can say clear and preload cache. That will go ahead and clear out the old cache and make sure that it shows up. Occasionally things stick and we get calls from clients, and it's just this WP Rocket tool, and it just needs to be cleared for it to work. If you have other questions, feel free to call us here at Firehouse Design, 573-893-6937.